What if I told you that the secret to success isn't really your talent or how smart you are, but actually a simple belief you hold about yourself? Well, according to the amazing research by Dr. Carol S. Dweck, this one single belief creates two completely different worlds, shaping everything from our careers to our relationships. It's a question that so many of us have probably wondered about, right? Why is it that some incredibly gifted people just crumble at the first sign of a setback, while others seem to get even stronger and more motivated when things get tough? As we're about to see, the answer lies in their mindset. Let's take the story of Billy Beane. Now, he was a baseball prodigy, a natural in every sense of the word. Scouts were convinced he was destined for greatness. But the very moment things went wrong, like a single botched at-bat, he would just fall to pieces. In his mind, someone with his kind of talent should never make an out. And this belief, it turned every single game into a nightmare of potential humiliation. Billy Beane's story really taps into this powerful myth we have in our culture, the idea of the natural. We love to think that our heroes, the icons of sport and art, were just born better, that they have some kind of magical gift that the rest of us just don't. But this idea, as we're about to find out, is one of the most misleading beliefs we can possibly hold. And this myth of the natural, well, it just shatters when you actually look at the facts. Michael Jordan, maybe the greatest basketball player ever, he was famously cut from his high school team. Muhammad Ali, he failed the physical measurements for a so-called natural fighter. Even Charles Darwin was seen as having very little potential in his youth. Their greatness wasn't some birthright, it was forged through relentless effort and learning from every single setback. So this brings us to Dr. Dweck's truly revolutionary discovery. She found that people basically live in one of two psychological worlds, and the world you inhabit, it's all determined by a single, powerful belief. Okay, so on one side, we have what's called the fixed mindset. This is the belief that your intelligence, your personality, your abilities, they're all fixed traits. They're carved in stone. And this creates this constant, urgent need to prove that you have enough of these traits. Then on the other side, you've got the growth mindset. This is the belief that your basic qualities are things you can actually cultivate through your own efforts. And this creates a passion for learning, not just a hunger for approval. So how can you tell which one of these worlds you're living in? Well, the true test, the moment where these two mindsets really show their colors, is when you're faced with some kind of adversity. When you're faced with failure, the two mindsets don't just react differently, they experience a completely different event. For one, failure feels like this crushing final verdict. For the other, it's a total call to action. See, in the fixed mindset, failure is a verdict. It means you're just not smart enough or talented enough. Take the tennis legend John McEnroe. After a devastating loss in the French Open, he didn't look at his own performance or his concentration. Nope, he blamed a noise from a cameraman. For him, a loss couldn't possibly be his fault because that would be a final judgment on his talent. Now let's contrast that with Michael Jordan, who saw his failures completely differently. He didn't see them as a label, he actually embraced them. Each missed shot, each lost game was simply information for him, a wake-up call to go back and practice to get better. And this difference, it extends to the very idea of effort itself. In a fixed mindset, effort is a bad thing. It's for people who aren't naturally gifted. The thinking is, if you have to try hard, it must mean you don't really have the talent. But in a growth mindset, effort is absolutely everything. It's the key that unlocks your ability and transforms it into real, tangible achievement. The research on praise is one of the most stunning parts of this whole thing. When Dr. Dweck's team praised students for being smart, it actually pushed them into a fixed mindset. They started avoiding challenges just to protect that label. But when students were praised for their effort, it fostered a growth mindset. They wanted more challenging problems. They saw them as opportunities to learn and get smarter. So the crucial point here is how we praise really, really matters. And now for what is honestly the most powerful message of all, your mindset. It's not a permanent part of your personality. It is a belief. And you know what? Beliefs can be changed. There's a wonderful saying from the 1960s that just perfectly captures the spirit of the growth mindset. Becoming is better than being. Life isn't about proving you are something, it's about the journey of becoming something more. It's all about growth, not some final grade. So, okay, how do we start to cultivate this for ourselves? Well, it begins with focusing on the process, the effort you put in, the strategies you use. It means actively embracing challenges as chances to grow. It's about reframing failure, not as a label, but as valuable information. And finally, it's about seeing criticism not as a personal attack, but as a helpful gift, a guide for improvement.
This shift in perspective completely redefines what it even means to be a champion. As the tennis legend Billie Jean King put it, a champion isn't someone who never loses. A true champion is someone who, when the pressure is on, gets tougher, learns on the fly, and raises their game to meet the moment.
And the power of this mindset is echoed by people at the absolute peak of their fields. Susan Polgar, who is one of 3 sisters who all became chess grandmasters, she attributes her family's incredible success not to some innate talent, but to the belief that achievement is 99% hard work. So this leaves all of us with a final and pretty profound choice. When you look back on your life, what story do you want to be able to tell? Will it be a story of polishing your unused potential like a trophy, thinking about what you could have been? Or will it be a story of giving your all for the things you truly valued? A story of growth, of challenge, and of becoming? The choice, ultimately, is yours.